So today we're going to be learning about an app called educreation, which I already have opened on my iPad, and so I'm going to give you a little bit of a tutorial. The first thing I want to talk about is on the left-hand side, there are 5 different things you can do with this app. The first one is create a lesson, which we're going to do a little bit later. So basically you can create a multifaceted lesson or just something that you're doing in class, and they can write notes and take notes, and it's a really cool, interesting feature of this app. So if we go down to the 3 people, so these next 3, you have to actually log into an account, create an account, which I don't have yet, but you can create a class that you as a teacher and you as a student are involved in, so you can just share your ideas, share your notes with others, collaborate with others quite well, and this is a great platform to do that. Next one is sharing your favorites with others, viewing what you have recently watched, and kind of keeping track of that. And then the star one, which I think is the most interesting of all, it just has different featured lessons that there are basically just different lesson plans that are happening in this, so that's a pretty neat feature. And I mean, there are over hundreds of these for subjects, so that's really cool. But I'm going to go back to the initial screen we were on, which is if you go all the way to the top, it's the person and it's now highlighted blue. So I'm going to tap to start a new lesson. So basically this brings me to the screen that kind of is a portable whiteboard that you can use for on any technology device. Which is really good if your school is 1-to-1 or something of that nature. So the first thing you can do is notice that there are 5 colors, so we can write, and there's a pencil right above it and an eraser right above it, and right now we're on the pencil, and you can tell that because it's blue, and so I'm just going to write, app tutorial with that. And so say, no, I don't really like the line under it, so you can click the eraser and get rid of the line. And you can do that with all of the colors. It does not matter. If we go a little bit to the right, we can see at the top, there's this thing that I just clicked on, and it says duplicate page and ink and duplicate page. Basically, duplicating the page is recreating the page without what is written on it. And so say we have, I guess first we should talk about this plus sign here. So this way we can add text. So if we click on this A, which I just did, and we can tap anywhere. So add text, so hello. And you can see that there are multiple different colors for this, more colors than were available earlier. So I'm gonna click done. And you can move this around, you can delete it, you can duplicate it, you can edit it, you can lock it, which means it won't move around anymore. But say I wanted now to duplicate this, so I'm going to duplicate the page and the ink. Doesn't look like it does anything, but it actually does do something. So if you go to the bottom left, you can see that this says 2 out of 2, and so you can just go from these arrows at the bottom right and left and 1 out of 2. And the only thing that's different up here is when you click duplicate page, it just duplicates it without what's been actually written. So text is duplicated, but handwritten notes are not. So if you wanted to do that, you totally could. So let's go back to the plus sign. And so we've used the A, which is the text. This one right here in the middle is adding photos, and it's going to ask you initially to give consent or to access your photos, which you can just do that very easily. And then the next one is taking an actual photo. And so you can do that if you'd like. So if we go all the way to the right top, there's this piece of paper that's the corners turned over. And so right now we're on white paper. You can go to line paper, graph paper, or coordinate grid, which is super helpful if you want to use sheets to, plot a point on a line or draw something of that nature. And the last feature we're going to talk about, and kind of the coolest one that I didn't know was on here, if you go all the way to the left, there's this orange circle with a recording thing in it, so I'm going to click it,